I want to ask you about when you mentioned you drive through an area where there's a lot of Jewish people.
Mm.
What do you mean by that? Like, is it quite not
Seg-
segregated?
Segregated. It is.
Yeah.
London is very segregated.
But
And there's a.
is that like do you mix? Like,
Why is it segregated? The thing is, London history is very complicated, and usually a lot of it can be explained by wealth. So I'll take the 1950s, 1960s, for example. After World War II, there was a lot of labour shortage in the UK. A lot of people had died. We didn't have many workers. So the British offered a lot of UK colonies, mainly the Caribbean, they put out a notice saying, come to the UK, join our workforce, and we'll give you a passport. So a lot of people accepted this invitation and came to the UK from the Caribbean in the 1950s, 1960s. But then you arrive to London with very, very little money in hope of a better life, and you realise, okay, where do I go? I have no money now. So naturally, you go to a poorer area of London where you can buy a home. And also you go where your friends are. You're like, where's everyone else that I know gone? And they all go to an area. So that's why if you go to London now, different areas of London are very, it's diverse, but it's also segregated because people have moved to places where they know people. So like Southeast
yeah.
London, like Lewisham, Croydon, Peckham, Brixton, all these areas, like that's known for like being more black areas, and that is due to the history of people moving there
Yes, but
from.
that's a history. I'm
But
talking about now.
you're saying why is it still segregated?
Yeah, what's your take on that?
I think it's still segregated. Well, firstly, I think that most people don't move away from where they're born. I think a lot of people live where they're from, live where they were born. Secondly, I think a lot of communities stay to themselves. As we talked about, different religions, different races, each have their own culture. And when you have your own culture, you typically stay together because it's what you know, it's what you understand. Like me and you, for example, we have a lot of similar values. So it makes perfect sense. Like if we want to have kids, if we want to like get married, like all these things, raise grandkids, build a family. It's like if you have similar values, like it's easier to raise children when you have similar values. Like you want to do that with someone you have similar values with. So
Yeah.
naturally, I think people who are in a certain community, like the Jewish community, they get married within the community and they have kids within the community and kind of keep that going and in essence live together in the same place.